Hello, my name is Dean Phillips. I'm the lead bike fitter and owner of FitWorks, which is located in Peabody, Massachusetts. As bike fitting specialists, one of the questions we get often is, what's the difference between a road bike and a triathlon bike? And the easiest way to answer that question is to explain it with the bikes in front of you. A road bike, I'll start with the road bike. It's the one that riders are more familiar with. It's one you see on television. It's what you've ridden your whole life. It's designed around an upright sitting position with your hands out on the handlebars. It's very versatile. It's the one you see most often for cyclists out on the road. So a good all-around bike that plenty of riders will use in triathlons as well. Now the differences between the road bike and the triathlon bike. Mainly a triathlon bike is designed around an aero bar position. So with the triathlon setup, the rider is going to be positioned lower down in front instead of sitting up on the aero bars. To get lower down in front and not give up any power, the saddle needs to come forward. It's called a steeper seat tube angle. We bring the saddle forward that maintains the same open position in the hips, so the rider is going to be just as comfortable, maintain just as much power, but since they're lower down on the front of the bike, their body's in a more aerodynamic position. From a setup standpoint, triathlon specific bikes typically end up with shorter top tubes, shorter head tubes, because you're resting on your elbows instead of your hands, so the cockpit needs to be a little bit shorter. When it's designed properly, it's very stable, rides very well, and it's going to give you that 1 to 2 miles per hour time savings compared to the road bike. Now the other side of this question is, which one's best for so-and-so athlete? The safest bet is the road bike. Somebody brand new to the sport, sometimes it makes sense to get the road bike. You can get out there, you can join local cycling groups, cycling clubs. You can spend a few years in the sport. You look at any given triathlon, you'll see half the riders on a road bike. The triathlon bikes, it's a great fit for somebody who knows they like the sport, they already have a road bike, they want that triathlon specific bikes that's going to give them the time savings, and a lot of studies also show that you will run faster off the bike initially because of the steeper seat tube angle. It saves the muscles a little bit and recruits more pulling muscles that allows you to run faster a bit initially. If there's a downside to the triathlon bike, it's that because of the aero bar position, if you ever want to go out to ride with your local cycling club on a Sunday ride, that's where you're typically going to be sitting up the whole time. You don't want to be in aero bars if you're lined up in a pace line very close wheel to wheel, because you can't reach the brakes quickly. So oftentimes if you take that triathlon bike out on the group ride, you're going to be sitting upright, and the bike's just not designed to be ridden for long lengths of time in the upright position. Just another example of some of the differences between a road position and a tri position. We have Marty set up in a road cycling position right now. Some of the things we pointed out before, the bike's designed so he's in his most powerful position possible. He has very close to even weight distribution from the saddle to the handlebars at the front of the bike. This position is going to ride well, it's going to handle well, it's going to be very comfortable for long rides, and it's real versatile. He's going to be able to make quick adjustments. His hands are out on the brake levers and shifters, so it works well from there. From this position, we're going to describe some of the differences as we move to a triathlon position. At this point, we position Marty in a triathlon specific position. We've brought the saddle further forward. This allows us to lower his torso while maintaining the same open hip angle at the top of the pedal stroke that he had in the road position. So we've lowered him down, he's resting his elbows on the back of the elbow pads, he's nice and comfortable, he's using his skeletal system to support his weight, his head's relaxed, his shoulders are relaxed. He's going to be able to ride in this position for long amounts of time, for hours if he needs to. It should be, when it's done properly, it should be just as comfortable as that road position, but it's going to be a lot faster because he's punching a much smaller hole in the air. He's also going to run faster initially off the bike because he's in the steeper saddle position. One of the things we'll do with athletes that are pick and choose between the bikes is we'll talk about what their goals are, we'll talk about if they have a bike already, go through the pros and cons of the two setups, and then decide what's best for them.